Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we spotlight Be Your Future Self Now, a transformative guide authored by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. This book is an insightful manual for those striving to envision and actualize their future selves. Dr. Hardy, an organizational psychologist acclaimed for his impactful blogging and scholarly work, introduces a structured pathway towards self-realization and achievement. This compelling read demystifies the process of personal evolution through a series of actionable steps and profound insights. It outlines the 7 threats that could derail your progress, counters them with 7 truths to embrace about your potential future self, and equips you with 7 concrete steps to embody your future self starting today. Whether you're a professional aiming to ascend to new heights, an individual seeking clarity about the future, or someone tired of faltering at New Year's resolutions, Be Your Historial Future Self Signals serves as an essential compass. With Dr. Hardy's guidance, derived from a blend of personal success and academic rigor, this book promises to be a beacon for all aspiring to significant personal and professional growth. Join us as we delve into how to become your future self now. Be Your Future Self Now. The Science of Intentional Transformation. Introduction. Discover the secret to shaping your destiny. Imagine navigating life not just by dodosity, but with a clear vision of your future self, one that you can start becoming today. Traditionally, psychology clung to the belief that our past dictates our behaviors, locking us into a predetermined path. But what if the opposite were true? What if we are not driven by the events that happen to us, but rather drawn toward the possibilities that lie ahead? This radical idea was introduced by pioneers of positive psychology at the turn of the 21st century. They suggested that our actions are motivated not by past experiences, but by future aspirations. Every decision and action, whether we recognize it or neglected actions or neglected thoughts, nudges us toward a future we envision. In his insightful book, Be Your Future Animal Now, Dr. Benjamin Hardy flips traditional psychology on its head. He presents a compelling argument that you have the power to define who you want to be and provides practical steps to make that person a reality today. Dr. Hardy categorizes his teachings into 3 pivotal sections: 7 threats to your future self, 7 truths about your future self, and 7 steps to realize your future self. While we can't explore each aspect in depth, let's dissect 2 vital takeaways from each section to jumpstart your transformation. Say farewell to fleeting New Year's resolutions and hello to a concrete, achievable future self. This isn't about lofty, unattainable goals, but about taking tangible, strategic actions that cumulatively construct the future you desire. Ready to meet your future self? Let's dive in. Part 1. Transformative Tales: Embracing the Narrative of Resilience. Consider a pivotal moment in your life, an event that seemed like a disaster at the time, but one from which emerged extraordinary lessons or insights. This approach is at the heart of Dr. Benjamin Hardy's philosophy, as illustrated by a deeply personal story from his own life. At the age of 16, just as he was beginning to steer not only cars but his journey into adulthood, Dr. Hardy faced a harrowing ordeal. During a long drive with his family to visit a friend, his mother, exhausted, handed him the driving responsibilities. What seemed a simple gesture of trust soon spiraled into a nightmarish scenario. An unexpected stretch of road under construction led to a severe accident. The car spun out of control and landed upside down, leaving his mother critically injured and in a coma for weeks. Surviving this ordeal and witnessing her protracted recovery, which lasted over 2 decades, Dr. Hardy's mother didn't succumb to bitterness. Instead, she transformed the traumatic experience into a source of strength, focusing more tenderly and appreciatively on raising her 3 sons. This story isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving by redirecting the narrative of our experiences. Dr. Hardy emphasizes that the significance we attach to our experiences often defines their impact on us more than the events themselves. By framing even our most challenging moments as catalysts for personal growth and change, we preclude past hardships from jeopardizing our future selves. Embrace this mindset. View each difficult moment as a lesson, not a sentence. This shift in narrative doesn't just change how we see our past, it redefines our future. Let adversity mold you into a better, not bitter, individual. Remember, when faced with next life's inevitable challenges, the story you tell yourself is the one that shapes you. Choose a narrative that empowers and uplifts, much like Dr. Hardy's mum did, and watch as it transforms not only your world, but the world of those around you. Part 2. Step into the ring. Conquering the fear of failure. One of the most pervasive inhibitors that prevents us from realizing our fullest potential is the fear of failure. This fear does more than hold us back. It paralyzes us, stifling the very growth we yearn for. Theodore Roosevelt, an advocate for bravery in the face of uncertain outcomes, famously encouraged participation over criticism. It is not the critic who counts. His words champion those in the arena who, despite stumbling and faltering, continue to strive valiantly. These individuals embody the true spirit of courage, not because they always succeed, but because they dare to fail. Dr. Benjamin Hardy articulates a stark truth in his exploration of personal development. The avoidance of failure is, in itself, a form of failure. By sidestepping challenges and settling for lesser ambitions, we forfeit our chance to truly shine. The comfort of playing it safe is a tempting siren that leads us away from the potentially rough seas of high achievement. Imagine for a moment that failure is not a possibility. What daring goals would you set for yourself? What audacious actions would you take if success were guaranteed? Now consider the reverse. By not acting due to fear, you ensure those goals remain unachieved. Dr. Hardy urges us to reframe our perspective on risk and failure, viewing them as essential elements of a courageous commitment to self-betterment. Moreover, envisioning and moving forward toward a grand vision of who you can become requires accepting that failure is a part of the learning process, not its deterrent. Hardy suggests reflecting on 3 significant goals and considering the bold steps needed to achieve them within a year. What, then, do you really stand to lose by attempting them, knowing that inaction is a definite path to failure? Stepping into the arena doesn't just involve risk. It involves potential reward, the kind that can only be attained by those willing to face their fear of failure head-on. Let Roosevelt's words be a rallying call to reject the sidelines in favor of the action-packed center of life's arena. Embrace risk, face potential failure, and allow every stumble to bring you closer to the person you aspire to become. Part 3. Embracing evolution. Meet your future self. Reflect on the person you were a decade ago, your passions, your values, your life circumstances. Now think about who you are today. It's likely that the person you recall barely resembles your current self. Dr. Daniel Gilbert, a renowned Harvard psychologist, probes into this phenomenon by asking individuals if they believe they will change as drastically in the next 10 years as they have in the past. Surprisingly, many of us see our future selves as a mere continuation of who we are now, an illusion that Gilbert has termed the end of history illusion. This illusion leads us to think that the person we are today is essentially our final form. The truth, however, is quite the opposite. Every day serves as a stepping stone toward becoming someone entirely new. Understanding that you are not a static character, but a dynamic one continually evolving, is crucial in realizing your full potential. By acknowledging that change is not only inevitable, but beneficial, you learn to approach life with a lighter, more open attitude. Mistakes and uncertainties become less daunting when viewed as natural steps in your personal evolution. To accelerate towards the future self you aspire to be, start by accepting that this future version of you will be fundamentally different from your current self. Reflect deeply and decide who you want to become. Envision your future self's interests, values, and lifestyle. What achievements do they boast? What goals drive them? Allow your imagination to roam freely during this exercise. The more detailed and vivid your visualization, the more motivated and prepared you'll be to embrace the changes necessary to achieve these aspirations. Rather than a sketch, paint a full portrait of who you aim to be and step confidently toward that evolving self, embracing each transformation as part of the thrilling journey of life. Part 4. The Divine Influence. Shaping your future with belief. How does your view of the divine shape who you are and who you can become? This intriguing question is the cornerstone of another profound truth explored by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. It's not about endorsing a particular religion or belief system, but understanding how your spiritual or existential perceptions mold your identity and potential. Imagine if you see the divine as a craftsman and humanity as his creations, much like pots molded by a Pot Gatsby prince portrait a Doxic potter. In this analogy, there's an inherent separation between the creator and the creation, a boundary that suggests understanding, let alone embodying, the creator's essence and capabilities is beyond reach. Now, envision a different perspective, viewing the divine as a parental figure, with all humanity as literal offspring. This viewpoint aligns more with the analogy of an acorn to an oak tree, where the potential of the seed, humanity, inherently contains the essence of the majestic tree, the divine. Such an outlook inherently suggests that understanding and even embodying divine qualities are not only possible, but natural. Dr. Hardy proposes that adopting a belief where your connection to the divine is intrinsic and empowering, much like the second analogy, can dramatically alter your aspirations and achievements. If you perceive your ultimate potential to include divine-like qualities, your current self-image transforms. You move from seeing yourself as limited and separate to viewing yourself as expansive and fundamentally connected. This shift is not trivial. Embracing a belief that espouses growth and unity with the divine encourages a life led by gratitude and trust, rather than fear and restriction. Each belief system carries its implications, shaping not just how you view your potential, but how you navigate the path towards it. Your chosen perspective on the divine, whether you see it as distant and distinct or close and connected, can powerfully influence the trajectory of your personal development, turning your future self into someone who not only reaches for the stars, but perhaps, in a way, originates from them. As you reflect on this, consider how your spiritual beliefs might be steering your path and how adopting a more empowering perspective could elevate not just yourself but potentially your impact on the world. Part 5. Optimizing for future success. Automate and schedule your growth. Sometimes, the simplest actions lead to the most significant results, as Dr. Benjamin Hardy discovered through his personal experience with financial planning. After a consultation, he began automating weekly payments to his investment account. To his amazement, when he revisited his financial advisor 3 months later, the benefits of this seemingly modest change were undeniably impressive, leading him to maintain this practice ever since. This leads us to a powerful step in becoming your future self, leveraging systemization and scheduling to support your growth. Just as Hardy found, setting up systems that automate progress toward your goals can produce surprisingly effective results. Systemization is not just about starting a process, it's about continuously refining it to keep pace with your evolving aspirations. For Hardy, this meant periodically increasing his investment contributions to align with the expanding financial ambitions of his future self. The key here is to design systems that minimize friction and maximize consistency. By setting up automatic operations, like Hardy did with his bank transfers, you embed these future-leaning behaviors into your daily life. But systemization only works in tandem with another critical strategy: intentional scheduling. For most people, daily schedules are dominated by urgent tasks demanding immediate attention, often at the expense of truly important activities that foster long-term growth. To counter this, Hardy treats his growth-related tasks as sacred appointments. He blocks out specific days exclusively for activities that align with his future self's goals, such as writing books or creating content, ensuring these priorities are met without compromise. What Dr. Hardy teaches us is that by systemizing and scheduling the activities critical to our future self, we make progress inevitable rather than incidental. It's about transforming aspirations into routine actions, effectively bridging today's intentions with tomorrow's achievements. Follow this path by instating robust systems and disciplined schedules in your life, and watch as the gap between who you are and who you want to be narrows, one automated step and scheduled appointment at a time. Part 6: Embrace imperfection on the path to achievement. Leonardo da Vinci, a paragon of Renaissance genius, once strikingly remarked that art is never finished, only abandoned. This insight into the nature of creativity and accomplishment holds a profound lesson in the pursuit of becoming your future self, especially as you begin accumulating momentum toward your goals with effective systems and schedules in place. In this journey of self-transformation, one critical step is embracing the notion of consistent completion. Often, the drive toward perfection can paralyze progress. The reality is that whatever you create or achieve today might seem flawed or incomplete by tomorrow's standards. However, it's crucial to recognize that each completed action, no matter how imperfect, builds a foundation for future refinement and success. Dr. Benjamin Hardy illustrates this concept with personal examples, demonstrating growth across various aspects of his life, from improvements in his book writing to advancements in parenting techniques and financial investments. Each endeavor was not without its flaws, but represented a step forward. Waiting for perfection is akin to perpetually postponing your progress. The art of completion involves recognizing when to cut ties with the pursuit of the flawless and commit to finishing what you've started. This readiness to conclude projects allows your future self to inherit a legacy of completed works, each a stepping stone to refined future outputs. Moreover, it's just as important to recognize when to quit endeavors that no longer serve your intended future. Disengaging from unproductive habits or goals is not a sign of failure but a strategic decision to focus on more fruitful pursuits. Contrary to the adage that quitters never win, strategic quitting can propel you toward a more aligned and successful future version of yourself. Leonardo's acceptance of imperfection did not diminish the value of his masterpieces, which continue to captivate and inspire centuries later. Emulate his approach. Permit yourself to complete tasks imperfectly and move forward unburdened by the pursuit of perfection. By doing so, you not only accelerate your growth, but also open the door to becoming a transformative figure in your own right. Final summary. The journey to becoming your future self is both profound and impactful, capable of altering the trajectory of your life. Starting today, you can begin intentionally shaping the future you desire. Navigate through the common challenges and embrace the mindset shifts necessary for growth. Understand the threats to your future self, such as the limiting stories from your past or the daunting fear of failure. Inject positivity and purpose into your path by embracing the enlightening truths about your future potential, including the ever-evolving nature of your personal identity and how your perceptions of spirituality can shape your ambitions. Equip yourself with concrete strategies to materialize your vision. Systematize your success to make consistent progress almost effortless and prioritize action over perfection to maintain momentum. As Marianne Williamson poignantly observes, your playing small does not serve the world. This is a call to step up, to embrace your full potential without reservation. Through understanding the dynamics of personal evolution, acknowledging the transformative power of your beliefs, and implementing practical steps towards your goals, the path to your future self becomes clear and attainable. Start today and make the choice to not just dream about the future you want, but actively build it. Be your future self now. Embark on this journey with courage, determination, and the knowledge that each step you take is shaping a brighter, more capable you. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.